Saturday night and they're not running enough trains. They're running them like 4 and 5 minutes in between trains. The girl in front of me, last station, she couldn't even get off. There are so many people trying to get in. It's just packed. Now, I hate to do it, but when it comes to my stop, if they don't move, bodies will be flying. This is absolutely ridiculous. They need to add more trains. So this becomes a bottleneck right here. You see, they funnel everybody from those trains onto one escalator down to the trains. You can imagine it's kind of crazy. And now you have to turn. Oh, they'll get two. Wow. There's no simple way, unfortunately. Might as well just stay right here. Well, it is Sunday, 4th of February, 2018. And it's about 5 in the morning, just a few minutes before. And it is so cold. It has to be, it feels like it's 20 degrees. But it's probably not that cold. But for those folks who have never been to China, if you come during the winter time, one of the things that will probably not be too pleasant is that most places in China don't use heat in the winter time, especially if they are below the I forget if it's the Yellow River or if it's the Yangtze River, but basically building below that line doesn't include heat. So this airport has no heat. Now, none of the airports I don't think are heated. I've never been in an airport that's heated. I was just thinking about this, you know, the amount of money that the airports in the United States must spend on heat must be enormous, like Logan in Boston or Manchester, New Hampshire during the winter time because they're heated. Whereas this place just opens up all the doors, and if it's 20 degrees outside, it's 20 degrees inside. And it makes for, you know, it's not really pleasant. And that's why it's so important to have a room that has heat in the winter time. All right, I'm gonna sign off. There's Kay over there. I've got to go check in and get my tickets. And I think this is going to be, hopefully it goes smoothly, but if it doesn't go smoothly, it's going to be it's not going to be a very pleasant experience, because there's not a lot of, it's about a 2.5 hour layover in Beijing. But because I'm switching from domestic, I'm flying from Guangzhou to Beijing, I then have to transfer terminals, which means I have to do the whole check-in process all over again. And in Beijing, that can be very, very time-consuming. Well, that girl at K15 was helpful from this standpoint. I went to check in at 24 down at the end, and they told me my passport number was wrong on the ticket. And I said, well, how is that possible if I arrived here without any problems? So I went to the girl with the glasses and the tan coat, and she's like, you've got to go to K15. It's a nightmare. So as expected, I'm going to have to check in again at Beijing, and I'm going to have to change terminals. So it's 2.5 hours if the plane is on time. So I'm hoping there aren't any delays. Otherwise, this could get ugly. It would mean probably have to stay over in Beijing. All right, but I can't control it, so I'm doing what I have to do. I'm here early. Now I'm gonna go check in through security. When I mentioned heating and air conditioning at airports, this is nice hot air blowing in, and you notice there's an antaway here, so you have hot air, so it keeps the cold air from coming into the airport. So it's actually, you know, in the 60s in here instead of being in the 20s. Big difference. I'll tell you, I almost froze to death sleeping at that airport last night. And I had on 2 sets of pants, sweatshirt, 2 shirts, coat, hat, gloves, and it still wasn't enough. The other thing I have to say is that global entry card that I got for free from the credit card cost $100, but they paid for it. I got off the plane. Normally you have to wait in line and go through inspection. Well, this time you go up to the kiosk, you put your fingerprints on, you answer their questions, it prints out a receipt, you go up to the guy. I said, hey, this is my first time doing this, I hope this is right. He goes, yep, it's right, see ya, bye. I was through that. It took me 30 seconds to print out the receipt once I put my passport in. And then 30 seconds to go through. Didn't even have to answer any questions this time. So wow, they weren't kidding, because I was like, wow, I hope I make my bus, because usually it takes a half an hour or 45 minutes to get through customs, depending on how long the line is and how many people, how many planes land. So real big improvement. So now the bus, I'm basically 25 minutes early for the bus when I wasn't sure I was going to make it. Awesome.